Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Friday, Reading the Red. This beautiful sunny morning. God is truly blessing us with this, what they call it, Indian summer. Matthew chapter 23, and we're looking at verse 18, continuing with the 8 woes that Jesus proclaimed to the religious people. And he says here in 18, "And you say, whoever swears by the altar, that is nothing. But whoever swears by the offering that is on the altar is obligated." So you say, and that idea, who say, you say. Who are you listening to? Whose report will you believe? I often preach in a sermon. The listening of who's saying something to you. So Jesus says to them, you say. So according to your perspective, according to your understanding, according to your evaluation process, according to where you have come to now as it relates to what you think about whatever. Jesus says, you say. And the idea that they're saying it is one thing. And it may be acceptable for themselves. And it may be that they have gathered around them a people who have seen that what they say is appropriate also. But just because they are saying doesn't necessarily make it right. In fact, just because you say something doesn't actually necessarily make it right. It might be, but it doesn't necessarily. The problem with listening to the you say reality of life, whether it's because we're saying it or because we have consented to believe in what someone else has said, may well be one thing. But I have grown up knowing this fact as a Christian, that it isn't what I think that's important. It's what God thinks. It isn't what I say is important. It's what God says. And so we are the people who are no longer listening to the you say in who we are, but we're listening to the God who has said. What God has said is absolutely right. What we say is according to our perspective thus far. But we have been eating from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And as a result of that, we have filled our lives up with an incredible amount of uncertainty. Because although the tree of good and evil that was eaten in the beginning when Adam sinned provided some aspects of right, it also brought a whole load of aspects of wrong. And so there was confusion and uncertainty. Had Adam continued to eat from the tree of life and all the trees in the garden, listening to the voice of all that God said, this whole universe, this whole world, humanity itself would be very different now. We're not interested in the you say reality of who we are, because that has led us into very many dark places. We need to get back to what he say, what God has said to us. Get back eating from the tree of life, which is learning to listen to the voice of Almighty God. I didn't get very far in the verse, but it carries on tomorrow. God bless you. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you tomorrow.